Welcome back. Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. And thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations in studio with our very first guest, Miss Shirelle Clarke. She's the managing director of Casket Emporium Funeral Agency and also a female police corporal. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
And happy International Women's Day week to you from all of us here at Tobago Updates Television.
Thank you, and same to you.
Thank you so much. And we're talking about women in careers today, and we're talking about, how do you manage the balance that is required being a woman, running a business and running a family, running a home, doing so many things that you have to do in life and showing up in a way that represents you as a woman.
So, good morning to everyone that's locked on. Happy International Women's Day to each and every one of my beautiful ladies. So, I'll tell you this. I'm not a magician, so I'll start there. I'm not a magician. Balancing my work life, my personal life, the kids, it really does take some discipline. It really does take some organizing, setting boundaries, and sticking to the boundaries I've set. You know, especially so as a mother, I would say my children, my family, that's my heart. That's the reason I live. And, just basically prioritizing them and then remembering that I am also a woman in business. I'm also a career-oriented person. I have to get up and remember, in as much as I want to prioritize them, I also have to juggle my both hats. And I get up, I put my mindset, I make my mindset to be a positive one, and above everything else, I get my strength to balance my act from putting God first.
That's right. And
Yes.
sometimes we tend to forget that we have to see about ourselves as well. And we also have to tap into that source that gives us the empowerment that we
Definitely,
need to do
definitely.
what we have to do. And we're talking about a very, very unique career here. We're talking about caskets and, the afterlife, preparing for that. What was the thing that gave you the inspiration to join this industry and to be a part of this business?
So that is a question I'm asked so often, and it's kind of funny because it just began with a dream, and I chased that dream until it became a reality, that one I am so proud of. Now, the funeral industry has been male dominated for eons, maybe from since before I was even born. But I'll tell you something. I saw an opportunity to insert myself into this male dominated industry, and I saw where I can get in and make a difference. As women, we have the ability to nurture, to be so compassionate, and I think those are healing qualities. And for this industry requires healing. It requires empathy. It requires compassion, and as a woman that basically I placed myself into this industry. I am so proud to be one of the females that's here, pushing myself forward, making a difference, and creating diversity in this industry. But I'll tell you, just a dream. It started with a dream that I chased.
And talking about chasing that dream, what did it take for you to get there? Because sometimes we have dreams, we even pen it, we put it in a notepad, we set up, timelines, and sometimes you fall off the wagon. What did it take for you to stay on course to ensure that your dream became a reality?
So, like I said, putting God first is a must. And I start by, I'll say this before I say that, right? I start my day with my devotions, and I try to make sure all my purposes are aligned. But I'll tell you something, my support system has been really excellent. So it took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of sleepless nights. It took a lot of doing it myself when nobody else could do it, or nobody else could see what I wanted, what I'm seeing, or what I want to make into reality. It took a lot of that, but my support system has been excellent. And my mother, she prayed. That woman prays, and she prayed. And listen, all of those things single-handedly assisted me in bringing this dream into a reality.
You know, I'm listening to you here and I'm feeling your passion in getting into this industry. And, you know, as you mentioned, it was a male dominated industry and you being in there now. Have you seen any impact on your part in terms of what areas do you think you were able to impact? And how do you intend to expand the industry to allow other women to think, hey, you know, I believe I can do this too, and bring that measure of, you know, as you said, comfort is an industry that requires that type of comfort and love as the loved ones are going on. How do you intend to bring that impact?
So I'll tell you this. One of the things that as women, we already have an unconscious bias that basically exists, that, you know, we have to work a little harder to prove ourselves, to show the world that, yes, they can do it, but we can as well. So, you know, I would tell any woman, any person that wants to get into this business especially, you must be patient. You must have the ability to exercise patience. You must be able to do your business and your biddings honestly. But if you don't have compassion, if you don't have empathy, because it's not at the end of the day always about a profitable turnover. I mean, that is the cue for business. You know, when we say colloquially business is business, we automatically know what that means. But I'll tell you this, it's not always about that profitable or that monetary turnover. It is one of the hardest things to see a mother or somebody cry and grieve for a loved one. And, you know, getting that person or getting those people from grieving into a state of comfort, helping them find closure, and, you know, turning something so sad into something so memorable and joyful gives me great joy. And I'll tell you this, it is constant work. It is constant work because, again, we have to keep proving ourselves. I remember the first time I sat behind the wheels of the hearse. Everybody stood at the entrance of the cemetery and tried to give me directions. So they would say, and I've been driving years, right? I don't want to sell out my age, but I've been driving a lot of years. And they would say, come back, no, stop, turn, lock, wait. But as I have a male driver in that seat, everybody just automatically assumes he can drive and he can handle it, and this is such a big vehicle, but that's a guy and he'll be all right. You know, so I will tell you, overcoming those things and not allowing yourself to be shaken by just the little things would do wonders for you, especially getting into this industry.
Yes, and you know, who are some of the your female idols who you've looked up to, or at least for motivation, for encouragement, that have empowered you to take up that position? Additionally, the younger persons who are coming up, what would you like to say to them if they want to take on a dream like you had, that and to bring it into a reality, even though there might be challenges and obstacles in their way?
So definitely, my mother, she's my biggest idol.
Mothers are really, you know, they are present this morning.
They are. And I'll tell you, this has nothing to do with International Women's Day. My mother, she's a superhero every single day, every single minute of every single day. And I looked at her take care, and I come from a huge family, and I looked at that woman take care of us and bring us and taught us values, taught us that, listen, it can get difficult sometimes, but it's always going to be worth it. It's always going to be worth pushing through. It's always going to be worth it to follow your dreams, follow your heart, chase it, work hard for it, and attain it. So I'll tell you, that woman, I look up to her. She's so graceful, she's so majestic, and she's beautiful. She's as beautiful as the morning sun, I'll tell you that. Now, for the young people coming up, success does not come easy, but it's really not that hard. If you love what you do, then you'll be able to do what you love. So you have a dream, work at it, push it. It is really attainable. It might seem far, but the furthest journey begins with the first step. Just take that step, keep pushing, be honest, and be patient. That is what I would tell my young people coming
All
up.
right, and I really am proud of you, and I want to say
Thank you.
congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And I do hope you continue to make the measure of
Thank
impact.
you.
And I like the fact that you were able to identify what is the actual aspect of the niche you wanted to get into. The reason for getting in there is to bring that measure of comfort and peace
Correct.
for the persons who are left behind. So I do hope you are able to continuously fulfill that role,
Thank you.
and that your business, continues to flourish, and
Thank you.
also that you remain an encouragement for younger persons who are
Thank
coming
you.
up with a dream, especially in an industry that is, we could call it unconventional for a woman to be in, and that person will thrive there as well. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Thank you so much for talking us through your dream, and of course saying that you love your mother so much as your strongest supporter. We do appreciate your mother as well. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We've been speaking with Miss Shirelle Clarke, Managing Director of Casket Emporium Funeral Agency. But up next is in studio and ready. Next, we'll be speaking with Miss Fanta Carrington. She is in studio and ready to have that conversation. You think a woman cannot do it? She will tell you that a woman certainly can. So do stay with us this morning. But before we go for a break, we have a photo for you. Photo of the day. Can you guess where the photo of the day was taken from this morning? You need to guess. Where was this photo taken from? It was sent in by Zavi Roberts. And we say thank you so much for sending in this photo. We do hope you can guess it. When we come back from the break, we might be able to tell you where the photo was taken from. But in the meantime, we have to go for a short break. And as we go, we invite you to help us. Share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.